Context. My long-term boyfriend, 30, and I, 31 male, bought a house together last June. I have a big family with 8 cousins and around 20 nieces and nephews, and I'm the oldest of my generation. I also have a high-paying job, and so does my boyfriend. My boyfriend hasn't had any contact with his family for over a decade and has been coming to my family celebration since before we were dating. Within my family, I'm known as a bit of a splurger with gifts, and the kids are always excited about my gifts because they're usually big things like Lego sets and things of that sort. Now with the story. So today, or yesterday I guess, my family held a pre-Christmas celebration since we'll not be able to meet up any time this year after this week. It was held at me and my boyfriend's new house, the first family event we've had there. My boyfriend wanted to participate in the gift giving, so he went all out with gifts, spending an average of $100 per person. He was so excited to give everyone their presents since we spent money and a lot of time picking everything out for everyone. The festivities were a hit, and my boyfriend and I stepped away for a bit to have some quiet time together. While we were resting on the stairs, we overheard my cousin, nearly adult female, chatting with my niece, teen. They were joking around about a few family members and mentioned my boyfriend and how he was too gay to function. Honestly, we didn't mind it too much. It's a movie reference, and they're kids. But then another cousin, 24 male, came in and began making harsher jokes, which the kids laughed at. These jokes brought my boyfriend to tears, and I refused to let that slide. When the gift trading began, I took the 3 aside and told them that I wasn't happy with their comments and that they weren't okay to say. I told them to apologize to my boyfriend because it was unfair, and they refused to because they were just jokes we weren't meant to hear. I told them I didn't care and they had to apologize. They declined again, and I said to them since they didn't respect him, they didn't deserve the presents we got for them. This got them to backtrack and say they'd apologize, but I told them it was too late, but they still should apologize. This is where I may have been too harsh. The youngest of my cousins told her mom, my aunt, that I was refusing to give her and the other 2 their presents, and she was angry about it. She told the parents of my niece and the male cousin's dad and partner about it, and all of them made a huge fuss. My sister and I kicked them out, and when they tried to grab their presents before leaving, I stopped them and rushed them out to the door. The whole thing fell apart after that, and it all ended very abruptly. So, am I the idiot for kicking them out and taking away their gifts over jokes? Not the idiot. How are you going to treat someone so badly at their function? Personally, that would be a recension of all future invites of those involved. That they made it out to be a grab for the gifts is disgusting. They didn't come for family. They came to get free stuff. And that level of toxicity is never invited to our events. I'd truly not buy them gifts again. And to treat your boyfriend in such a manner only shows their respect for you and your life. They tried to grab their presents on the way out? What the heck? Pathetic. Oh, the entitlement is strong with these folks. You were not disciplining her awful, stupid children. You weren't giving them something that they weren't entitled to. Actions and words have consequences. What does being too gay to function even mean? Also, the "you weren't meant to hear" is one of the worst excuses I've heard. It's honestly even worse than "I was just joking." It sounds like OP and his SO are also too gay to give gifts to entitled, crappy people, too. Dude, these people are nasty leeches. Stop the presents. Just stop all of them. See who turns up at your house. See who keeps in touch. Sorry, OP, but your generosity has masked some deep phobia, and you guys need a new balance. I am so very sorry that this happened. You and your boyfriend deserve so much better. I, 56, have 3 children. George, 27, male. Alice, 27, female. And Grace, 18, female. I was pregnant with George when my younger sister got pregnant around the same time. I was 29 and she was 18. My parents were completely unsupportive of my sister continuing or having her baby, and it resulted in her getting a job and moving in with her boyfriend, who wasn't the best. My sister gave birth to a lovely, beautiful baby, Alice, but with hormones and everything, she decided she couldn't continue living. So we got a call from my sister's boyfriend and Alice's bio father about taking Alice in, as he didn't want to do anything with her since the mother was gone. Alice was an infant at the time, and we just took her in. We've since raised Alice and George as twins, which is easy, as they're both blonde with blue eyes. My parents and aunts went along with everything, and after a certain point, we thought it was too late to tell her. And then my wonderfully smart husband decided to tell her, as she's pregnant and needs to know, just in case. And now she's refusing to speak to me. I did everything I could to make her happy and healthy, and I feel I did such a good job, as she's never even realized. My children are on my side, as they say I raised her, and I was there for her. I just never had the heart to tell her. I feel like if there was a mother out there, then I would have told her, but there wasn't. I was there. Am I the idiot for not telling my daughter she's adopted until she's 27? Edit. George also didn't know he isn't really a twin until now. You are the idiot. So you've also lied to your son that he's a twin for his entire life? Wow, lady, this is some pathological liar level dishonesty. Were they born the same day? Or did you even lie about her birthday to continue the twins farce? I'm so sorry your sister ended things, but children deserve to know if they're adopted and deserve to know it isn't a reason for shame. Hiding it makes it seem like they're less than, which is also a huge violation of trust. You specifically say that it was too late to tell her, meaning you decided not to tell her. That's where you are the idiot. I don't know when the right time to tell someone that kind of news is, but to decide never to tell her was the wrong decision. That doesn't mean you weren't a wonderful mother and exactly what Alice needed growing up. But this is a big piece of information that Alice needs to deal with, while also dealing with the fact that you weren't going to tell her. Try to look at it from her perspective. The best time is from the start. There are tons of books and resources on how to explain adoption to children and help guide parents on how to answer questions. Not telling, as you said, can cause all sorts of issues, beginning with not knowing medical history and continuing to all sorts of emotional trauma. There is zero excuse for parents to have hidden this from her for over 25 years. You lied to her. You made her believe she was connected as a twin to her brother. It's extremely important during pregnancy that she has the correct medical information. So your husband was right to tell her. You need to apologize. Your daughter has a right to be mad about something so big being kept from her. You love her, right? Then you need to realize you hurt her. Even if in your mind you were doing it for the right reason, the secret was deeply impactful on how she views her whole life. Throw yourself on her misery. Don't make excuses and just apologize over and over again. So for context, my boyfriend 20 and I 20 female were going to a shopping center about a week ago. This area is popular and it's always decorated beautifully and festively for the holidays. Maybe this is just me acting like a bum, but I thought it would be cute to wear those red flannel plaid, I don't know what to call it, pajama pants with a regular black hoodie. Something about it being Christmas made it seem charming. I asked him what he thought of the outfit, and he immediately said, no. I was a bit surprised. He said he believes pajamas are only to be worn in the house, and to wear them in public tells the world I have no self-respect. I was surprised again and told him I have self-respect and just thought it looked cute. He then says it's disrespectful to him if I wore them while out with him, which I tried to understand from his perspective. I ended up switching to a more acceptable option, gray sweatpants. Fast forward to last night, we were already upset sharing our feelings about a different topic, and eventually he brought up the pajamas again. I still couldn't believe we were talking about the pajamas, so I was completely stunned and asked something along the lines of, are we seriously still talking about the outfit I wanted to wear? Then he tells me about how it's not just that outfit. Many of my clothes are baggy and too big for me, and I look completely dwarfed by my clothes when they don't fit my form. Lots of my casual clothes are t-shirts that are too big for me. They're medium and I'm extra small or small, and even the ones in my size look big because I'm a petite girl, and some color sweatpants. I never thought anything bad about my baggy clothes until this conversation. He says he knows I have better, really cute, and well-fitting outfits, so it comes off as lazy and me not caring about my appearance when I leave in bigger clothes. Some quotes from him last night. I want to show you off and be proud to be next to you, but it's hard when you don't put any effort into your appearance. I want you to look good, if not for yourself, then for me. I understand why he didn't want me to wear PJs in public, and I respect it, but he also just called out like 50% of my wardrobe. When I don't wear those clothes, I wear a skirt, jeans, joggers, and some slacks, but 75% of my regular shirts don't hug my body. I love this man. I want him to feel comfortable being seen with me, and it's just that this hurts my feelings, mostly because I didn't know he felt this way about my casual wear. Am I just being insensitive or lazy? Am I the idiot? I want to show you off. Boom, you're his trophy. Do your job, woman. Not the idiot. He is literally objectifying you as he looks at you as an object to be displayed and bragged about instead of a person with their own sense of comfort, style, or expression. Gross. Dump him. Everyone's the idiot here. You wearing PJs in public when you're older than 8 is tacky. Have some self-respect. But regarding his comments on your general clothes, I can see why he might be frustrated if he typically puts in more effort to dress nicely himself. But then he should just find someone more compatible with him, not try to control what you wear. He's suggesting that you embarrass him, and I wouldn't say I like that. He should love you and stand by your side, regardless of what you're wearing. LMAO, have some self-respect. Wearing PJs can be very comfy. Why should you go after someone wearing what they want? It sounds so stupid. Also, wearing holiday flannels during the holiday season is pretty common. It's not like she was wearing tattered and old clothes. My wife told me the same thing once. For work, I put on a smart suit and a snazzy tie, contact lenses, and clean shoes. Looking good. Then I would go out with her in dirty trainers, scratch glasses, and a baggy t-shirt. It made her feel like she wasn't a priority in my life and wasn't worth my effort. We should dress for ourselves above all, but I don't think that should exclude trying to look good for our partners. I, 33 male, have been with my wife, 33, for 6 years and married for 3. We have a preschool-age son together, and I also have a tween daughter that I have sole custody of from a previous relationship. It was barely a relationship, honestly. Recently, my sister-in-law invited us to a restaurant for her birthday, and she told my wife to bring the family, which I took to mean my wife, me, our son, and my daughter. My in-laws have known my daughter since I've been with my wife. They've watched her grow up. I just assumed she was part of the family now. My wife went to my sister-in-law's house, and I planned to meet them at the restaurant with the kids a little later. Everything was fine at the meal, but once we got home and the kids were asleep, my wife got annoyed at me for bringing my daughter. She said I was wrong for bringing her because she's not family, and my sister-in-law didn't want her there. I've honestly never gotten the impression that my daughter wasn't welcome at family events on my wife's side, and no one told me not to bring her. A couple of in-laws have been messaging me and calling me things for bringing my daughter. My mother-in-law told me I was trying to force them to accept my daughter as family. Am I the idiot for bringing my daughter to my in-laws' party? Say what? After 6 years together, this is the first time they've excluded your older child? You have sole custody of her, so where was she supposed to go if not with you? It sounds like you entered the Twilight Zone. You are not the idiot. What else has the wife been up to with his daughter when he isn't around? Evil stepmother red flags are waving. While the attitude of your sister-in-law and mother-in-law is disturbing, it's your wife's attitude that's outrageous. Bro, you need to have a serious discussion with your wife. Your daughter isn't family. The daughter you have sole custody of, that your wife has known and lived with for 6 years, she's not family? It's probably going to be an unpopular opinion, but everyone is the idiot here. She sucks big time for not accepting the kid as her own. She's married to you. The child is hers. But you suck big time too for marrying someone that actively rejects your child. The poor kid deserves better than a maternal figure in her life who doesn't want her there. Exactly. What did your wife expect you to do with your daughter? Leave her home alone? Of course you'd be bringing your daughter, of whom you have sole custody. If you don't throw down with your wife in a hard way over this, you are the idiot. You had your daughter first, and she and your son deserve to be protected from nasty toxicity that'll poison their relationship amongst themselves and erode their self-worth and self-esteem as young children. My 31 male sister, Emily, 28, was recently homeless due to varying reasons. She asked me for help, and I was only glad to help her. I told her that she could live in my house rent-free and stay there as long as she wanted. Also, I have no problem, even if she lives there permanently, etc. My wife was fine with it as well. She likes to walk around in revealing clothes. Sometimes she doesn't wear a bra, and at other times she has no top at all. I had no problem with her remaining there at all, but I don't like people who act like this, especially when it's my house. I never asked her not to wear such stuff if she's staying elsewhere, so I politely asked her not to do that, especially since my tween son is there as well. She got mad and accused me of controlling her, being a misogynist, and that it's none of my business what she wears, etc. I responded, "It is my business when you live in my house. If you want to do that, go ahead, but you can't do it here. My morals do not allow that. You're not even paying anything. I told you that you can live here forever, and the least you can do to repay me is to wear decent clothes." She got mad and began to yell at me, using abusive language, etc. I didn't back down and asked her to get out if she thought it was problematic. She said, "Why? When I can live here without paying money? Screw that. I'm not going to leave, and I don't want to search for another house either." So she's still here, but I am wondering whether it was an overreach on my part, considering what I've told her. Am I the idiot? Your sister's treating you like a doormat. You opened your home rent-free, told this 28-year-old woman that she can stay forever, and now she's making it very clear that she's going to do whatever she wants while she's there, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's time to make it very clear that it won't fly in your house. That you're having any doubt at all about this is sad and troubling. You are 100% in the right, and any doubt you have should be removed immediately. Make it clear she isn't going to freeload and think that she can make the rules. Threaten to kick her out and mean it, and don't hesitate to follow through on it if she calls your bluff. Yeah, to me, this was more troublesome than what she wore. She basically states that she doesn't intend to leave because she's not paying rent. If I were the OP, I'd worry less about what she's wearing and more about how to get her out of my home. You have a young child in the house, and you're responsible for exposing that child to mature situations, not your sister's. The no bra thing is not something that your child should be exposed to until you and your spouse deem it appropriate. Dude, at this point, it's up to you to decide whether you want her behavior to change, in which case you have to create consequences for her behavior, or if you're going to let your son live with this woman for the rest of his childhood. The choice is yours. OP, 6 months from now, my son is no longer listening to or respecting me. I wonder where he could have learned this behavior. I believe it's time to evict your sister now. She's displayed contempt for you and your son. I can't imagine your wife is happy with your sister's behavior either. It's miserable to live with someone who has no respect for you.